David Solomon. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
Well, it's another fantastic day. David, you're wearing a collared shirt today, so it must be all business. You know, David and I have been talking about oil and gas and this conflict, which I call a war in Ukraine with a country called Russia. And, we're trying to desperately understand some of these minutiae. And you hear a lot of noise and static from different parties, whether Democrat or Republican, or whether it's a European party or even a Canadian party. I mean, we're not all the same, right? We're similar. And the U.S. and the West ban on Russian oil. You know, David, I know you've been doing some research on it. I'm going to let you dive in before I jump all over it.
Well, first of
Like,
all, Stuart,
yeah.
you know what's crazy though, and first of all, we are oil suckers. We love our oil for the gas, the cars, plastics, you name it. Oil is everywhere. We don't even realize it. This, a shout out to my friend Sass, who's going to sit here, and I hope he's listening, watching today, because he's a man all about renewable energies. And he's going to tell you that this is the time in which we should invest even more in renewable energies. And he's 100% right. And everybody's 100% right. But investments take time to come to fruition. Governments are not ready, and governments aren't really serious about this. What governments are serious about is, gaining votes. And if you understand why we're here today, is because the Canadian government, the American government, and other governments are trying to promote themselves as being environmentally conscious and therefore cutting oil production. You remember that during the Trump administration, the U.S. was independent. It was oil independent. It didn't need to import as much as it does today simply because it was producing enough. The Biden administration, as we know, Stuart, from day one, cut that. Mm-hmm. Now, Jen Psaki, the wonderful, press secretary, is blaming corporations for not producing enough oil. I mean, this is the vote game, the election game that we're playing.
Yeah, but David, but that tactic has been the DNC play card for 50 years.
But I'm trying. It's been forever. We've been lied to by politicians. I don't care which side of the aisle about the realities of what's going on out there. But here we are today, where oil is at an all-time high. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like filling up a gas at $8 a gallon. But that's what I'm dealing with today. I'm dealing with an $8 Canadian gas tank. Why? Because my government, your government, are net oil importers on purpose.
Yeah, well, David, so let me sort of address something. Even if we spend all the budgetary money to try and bring more non-fossil fuel combustible engines to market that are more environmentally friendly, sorry, kind of going back and forth on that word. Unfortunately, we would not be ready even in 10 years. I agree with you, David. I agree with the thought that we have to start moving in that direction, and we are very quickly and rapidly. However, if I've got to burn oil and gas, why am I giving billions of dollars to governments when I can get it here at home?
No. What about the governments that hate us?
All these governments hate us. I mean, and they hate you too. But the fact of the matter is that there is no more sense in slowing down our production when we're exporting that much money, when that money can come back into this country to further develop alternatives, right? But unfortunately, the optics that they want you to know is it's an all or nothing versus an all of the above. And the Psakis of the world, who are the puppets, right?
She's just parroting. She's just a parrot. She's just a voice box for the administration.
She's a puppet and a voice box of the podium of the President of the United States. Is so disingenuous. It's ridiculous. I
Well,
mean,
it's
you
not just
get
her,
the
Stuart.
9,000 leases that are out there. Well, first of all, no one wants to lend money on something that the government wakes up tomorrow and says, nah, I'm not interested any longer. And the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that you invested onto starting to pull oil out of the gas, I'm going to pull that from you.
Yeah,
What
but
is this,
Stuart,
David? Put on the screen?
it's not just the government. This is MSNBC. This is the liberal media.
Oh,
Spinning one
MSNBC.
more time. Spinning one more time.
The
No,
MSNBC
but Stuart, it's not.
is so
But
bad.
but Stuart, it's not just. Again, I'm crapping all over the media, and you guys are all sitting here going again. I'm going just to show you the fallacy. This is the fallacy. Okay, they're blaming Republicans once again. The politics of the war. And I mean, everybody, again, it's all about trying to win an election. And we have midterms coming up in the US. We're going to have a Canadian election here within a year. There are elections in France, by the way, are about to happen. There are other countries that are about. And you know what? This oil question is major. It's a major problem.
Well,
And
if you pay for oil to heat your house, it went up about 40% in the Northeast in the last month. And I got to tell you, it could reach above 147 a barrel,
but you know what, Stuart?
which I think we're there.
No, we're about 130-ish. We're close. We're about 10.
No, we're on the
Oh,
trajectory to
okay, fine.
get there.
But
Right.
here's the thing here's the thing that I'm finding fascinating. Okay, and I proposed this a couple of days last week, and people were laughing at me. You're a government. You're supposed to be helping us. You're lying to us that you care about us in the middle, the lower class, the middle class, and whatever. The truth of the matter is, you're just blaming. You know why? You know what the beauty of oil prices and gas prices going up for governments is, Stuart? More money in the coffer. And as a result,
More money
because
in what coffer? I don't understand.
the government will make more money because as oil prices go up, they make more money.
Well,
Because
it's not as much in the United States. Yes, in
Yeah,
Canada.
but wait a second.
Yeah.
But wait a second. But okay, you're right. But what is the U.S. federal tax on gas? Do you know what it is, Stuart?
No, I got to pull that up.
It's 18 cents a gallon.
And it's 50 cents in Canada or something like that.
No. Every province and the feds put an amount, the provinces put an amount on a percentage basis. So as oil prices go up, everything else goes up proportionately. Now imagine, if you will, Florida Governor DeSantis put a freeze for 5 months on the state gas tax. Is that why gas is only $4.20 a gallon in Florida as opposed to $8 a gallon in California? Because Governor Newsom refuses to freeze gas tax.
He can't refuse because his
He has.
state is bankrupt.
He has.
He
has. The governments in Canada have also refused. Have refused because they're looking at this with their hands. They're rubbing their hands and they're going, oh, goody, more money. So when it comes to an election, I could throw more money. They don't care about you. They don't care about you and me.
But David, if you thought that the government ever cared about you, you're delusional and
know that they don't care about us. I know they don't care about, but I'm just trying to show the fallacy.
The fallacy is that yes, there are environmental challenges in drilling oil and gas, but last time I checked, we all live on the same planet. So if over in Venezuela they do some crazy stuff and environmentally kill that country, it affects us as well. And so I'd rather have it drilled as responsibly with as much oversight as possible here in the United States, as an example, or there over in Canada, keep the billions of dollars here in North America and allow us to not only, secure our borders, secure our countries mutually. I don't need to give money to a terrorist organization. I don't need to give money to countries that hate our guts. But I'm going to take it one step further, David. I want to start to diminish the amount of products that I buy that come from India.
Well, you want to
And
start
I
buying.
want to start
Good luck.
buying less that comes
Good
from
luck.
China.
How in God's name are you going to
Because
do it?
I want to spring something up. We're talking about oil, but I want to talk to you about conflict diamonds for just a moment. Why are diamonds conflict diamonds? And this isn't conflict oil. If we're bringing oil from Russia, or if oil is coming out of Russia, it needs to be barred from the market. Maybe very similarly to conflict diamonds. And any country that deals in conflict is barred from the market. So maybe we need to jawbone all these countries
Look,
into
Stuart.
really putting the noose, because all we're doing right now is, again, beating up the middle class.
Yeah, but Stuart, your comment about going after India and going after other countries. I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't agree with you, and I'll explain to you why. I know these are countries that you're saying, oh my God, they're supporting Russia. Well, you know why? You got to thank the Obama administration, because if you go back to the administration, okay, and let's talk about the Saudis and the Egyptians and the Qataris and the rest. You know what? By Obama and Biden ignored them, abandoned them, because they wanted to support during the Arab Spring back in Egypt. They supported the Muslim Brotherhood, a terrorist organization who had ideas of overthrowing these governments. And good old President Obama threw his support behind them. And not only those countries, but other countries discovered that they cannot trust the United States, and they went elsewhere. They went to Russia, China, India, which included countries like Israel, who is America's best friend. And if you don't believe me, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to read Michael Oren, the former Israeli ambassador to the United States, an American-born guy who loves Obama, okay? And had respect at the time for Hillary Clinton. And he wrote a book called Ally, in which he exposed this fallacy that until the Obama administration, Israel could rely, and its neighbors, by the way, could rely on the United States. And clearly they can't. And now we're seeing why these countries can't condemn Russia, because they've got relationships with Russia, India, and China, thanks to the United States abandoning them over 10 years ago. And so now here we are. They're going, Biden has called on the House of the Saudis and whatever to say, hey, help us with the pricing. And the Saudis are saying, why?
No.
You've abandoned me. You've abandoned us as a vice president, and now as a president. Now you're coming to us, so-called hat in hand, and asking for a handout? Screw you. And you know what? This is the problem. So this Russian conflict, this war, I call it a conflict, this bullshit, this war with Ukraine, just shows how the U.S. has fallen off its perch. How all of us in the West are taking the hit. The fact that Biden now is banning Russian imports, hallelujah.
Well,
Welcome, finally.
David, again, going back to previous rants, this current government has chosen the wrong side of history. And President Biden and Vice President Biden, member Biden, has been on the wrong side for almost 45 years. And that's not going to change. He even voted in his confidence with Barack Obama not to get Osama bin Laden. But let's go back to oil and gas. The tax on the middle class is far more than it could afford. And, yes, Sass, I don't know you, but I like Teslas. I like electric cars. But
it's more than that, buddy.
Unfortunately, there is no current grid in the United States to support this. I think it would take 10 to 20 years to develop a grid that will support the demand of energy. In fact, weren't there thousands of cars just recently frozen on the interstate because of bad weather that ran out of gas?
But that's not the point of this.
You wouldn't be able to charge your way out of that problem either.
The point of this is not that we're not prepared for the electric. We've talked about this, and I've ranted about this, about the whole problem with the electrical grids. But Stuart, as we wrap up, guys, your gas prices aren't stopping to rise, and again, it's all about bad management. We don't like it in business. We shouldn't have it in government. And guess what? We have it thanks to our governments wanting to curry votes from the environmentalists. We're not only not prepared, we are screwed. Thank you very much. And we hope that this war ends soon. And on that note, Stuart, we're done for today.
You know what, David? Can you say goodbye?
I can say goodbye. Can you?
Goodbye.